Here she is, Miss Betty Hutton. Take it. Finally found a fella, almost completely divine, but his vocabulary is killing this romance of mine. We get into an intimate situation, and then begins this Romeo's conversation. He says murder, he says, every time we kiss. He says murder, he says, at a time like this. He says murder, he says, is it the language of love? He says solid, he says, takes me in his arms. He says solid, he says, meaning all my charms. He says solid, he says, is it the language of love? He says chick, chick, you torture me, zoot, are we living? I'm thinking of leaving him flat. He says dig, dig, the jumps the old tigger is giving. Now he can talk plainer than that. He says murder, he says, every time we kiss. He says murder, he says, keep it up like this and that. Murder, he says, in that impossible tone, will bring on nobody's murder but his own. He says Jackson, he says, and my name's Marie. He says Jackson, he says, shahoot the snoot to me. He says Jackson, he says, is it the language of love? He says woof woof, he says, when he likes my hat. He says, what the heck is that? He says woo woo, he says, is it the language of love? He says hep hep with helium. Now babe, we're cooking, in other expressions to wit. He says we're into groove, and Dick Groove is good looking. He sounds like his uppers don't fit. He says murder.